back to the muddiest Jeep on the island. Now, I've looked down this little side road. This thing comes in handy now that I can somewhat fly it. We're out here again looking for Bear Henry. Guys, enjoy this video of us upgrading the Jeep. Okay, so I'm sorry, but when the dog starts drinking from that puddle, it gets your attention. But I'll tell you what, let me get the dog a drink here. Hang on. You're good there, Drone. Here, wait. Here, buddy. Here you go. Here, bud. No? Apparently he got enough mud water. Anyways, gang, hopefully you're going to enjoy this video of us working on the Jeep, upgrading it and adding things. I'm going to keep flying the drone. Make sure you stay and pay attention to how amazing Bobo is with his camera work. Because, man, let me tell you, he can sure stand and hold a camera. Inside joke. Guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoy the content. Enjoy us working on and upgrading the Jeep, and stay tuned because the next episode is going to be this and a whole lot of drone footage. See you guys. So, although it looks overkill, I'm going to use this on the back because I do not want to fight with all the bolts. Pass it to Bobo because we're not reusing them. And whoever put the red Loctite on these for the first service needs their head examined. Rear diff bolts, diff cover bolts, don't need red Loctite. So now you guys can see why I'm using a 1/2-inch drive impact to take out diff cover bolts.
They don't need Loctite at all, do they?
No. It just need to be snugged, like tightened properly. People's biggest mistake is over tightening everything. It's a 10 mil head, like, and whatever that is, 7/16 shank. Like, how tight could you possibly need it? Loctite belongs on, you know, like drivetrain parts and stuff like that, not diff cover bolts. Like, man, this thing's fully charged, and if it's working that hard to get them out, that means, yeah, the red, like, but a lot of it comes from, and ironically, being YouTubers, guys see someone on YouTube go, you gotta have this, and then they think, oh, I'll Loctite everything. You don't need to. You have a rubber mallet or just a little flathead so I can get the cover off? Yeah.
Flathead. I'll be right back.
All right. Bobo forgot the, well, pull this back so you can actually see me, the part about taking this off. But at least on the back here, I could use the impact. On the front, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 I could get at with an impact, and not the big one. It was a nightmare. Well, you'll probably either see it after this, or you've already watched me do the front. But that was because we had the drag link and crossover bar and stuff in front of us. Yeah, I don't know who did a lot of the work on this Jeep, but like, this is way too long. It's not strapped up. It, sadly, guys without proper training think they know what they're doing, and then because they use heat shrink and a couple other things, they think, oh yeah, I got this. At least it's not over tightened, and the gear oil in here looks a lot better than the front. But you got to be careful, because I would love to, if it's like the front, reuse
the seal.
The seal if it's got its factory Dana. They're a really nice Again, you may have already seen the front. I'm not sure if the front goes in the video before this, but if you haven't, I'll show you as soon as I get this off. Because back in the day, and most of the time when we were using Dana 60s, etc., what's on here? It's on the cover, but that's okay. We should be able to very carefully get it off, and it doesn't look cracked or ruined. And the gears are all in good shape. We'll let that keep draining. I am going to come up top side here. And see. Looks like it'll be all right. Because if you can reuse this, one of the good things about it, gang, if you point the camera down here, you'll see this will keep it from being squished too much. This is part of the gasket. Right? Let's see if I can get it to start to come up. Yep. And when you're taking them off the cover, go really, really slow. And you want to try to get each bolt hole off first. Do not pry in between them. See, there we go. Now we've got it. This is a completely reusable, extremely well engineered Dana piece that will work amazing. So the only thing we got to do is make sure that the dirt's off it. And yeah, even if it's got gear oil on it, you're good to go. You just want to get the dirt off the top here, which is actually easy with gear oil on my hand, because I can just wipe it away and then I'll wipe my hands off after. And this beats the heck out of trying to do a nice bead of silicone. It's not even that dirty, it's just a bit discolored. So Uncle Bobo's gonna, did you already spray that with brake clean?
Not yet, just get most of it off, then I'm gonna spray it.
Yep. And here, I'm gonna wipe this off with a towel and look for checking and tears, etc. I'm glad that whoever was in here before, and there definitely was, because these don't come from the factory with red Loctite on the diff cover bolts. Whoever was in here before didn't use silicone as well as this. Guys, if you have a really nice mating surface that isn't 40 years old, or, you know, wasn't cleaned 5 or 6 times properly in the past, if it's nice and clean, you don't need silicone. So what I'm looking for is on the double ridge, if there's any like little chunks missing or it's been bent, we're in good shape here. And these are meant to be reused multiple times. And a lot of people don't realize on the Dana MM series axles, so it's a Dana 44 essentially. But what they're called is I believe it's in 220 mm or MM 220. There's different models. There's a 219, a 221, a 220, depending on whether or not it's in the front or the rear of your Jeep. And even some, I think the Ford Ranger has a MM 220 in the back. I'm not sure, but they're designed this way for a reason. This here is a spacer or a washer that keeps that cover from being too close to the ring gear. That's why they're there. You're supposed to have these when you install it. And I've seen lots of guys and girls, I'm not being judgmental, just saying, people in general install covers on these, whether it be an aftermarket one or just trying to service it, and they do it wrong. Spray a little bit more in there, get some of that rust and corrosion out of here. Just stick it on that rag so we don't scratch her up too bad before we use her. Yeah. Here, wipe her up with that. Sorry, I'm trying to keep this from getting... You got another one? Yeah, wicked. Thanks, Bobo. Yeah, see all the discoloration on the inside there? Like the brake clean turned brown?
Yeah.
Wipe the bottom out before she evaporates. Nice. Doesn't have to be perfect, just whatever we can get operate on. Yep, we are good. So again, guys, you need this spacer. Don't just buy a diff cover rip everything off, and then stick it together with silicone and snug them down. That is not the correct method of delivery. All right, so we got her up there, got the gasket lined up. On the ARBs, there's 4 longer bolts. They go on the sides here. I have actually seen it where people just start putting bolts in, and because the majority of them look the same, they make the mistake of putting longer ones into the smaller holes, and they leak, etc. And as you can see here, before you leave a comment, go ahead and leave it. Yes, I'm using a 1/2-inch drive. Yes, this is too big for the job, but it has a variable trigger so I don't mess her up. Because the last thing we want is to snap one of these off in here. And this thing's got enough power to do it. So we'll get these buttoned in, and then, and man, is this ever quicker than doing the front. I don't even remember how rough life was before battery-powered electric power tools. That's not right. Come on, you. There we go. And there was a lot of Loctite in those top ones. They were the hardest ones to come out too. Now we want to make sure we got the right. Yep, good, good. And one more. Where is it?
Just had it.
I know I got it in my hand, but where's the empty bolt hole? Oh, there it is. Oh Lord, good times. I'm curious though. Why do I have a Torx head? Aren't these Allen?
No, it's T20.
Is it?
Or 40.
They don't look like Torx. Those are Allen head.
The other ones didn't fit.
I mean, this works. It's not slipping. If it works, run with it. Oh, almost forgot there. This thing's pretty thick, so it's not as crazy important, but when you're tightening a diff cover, especially if it's a stock one, much like a wheel or a clutch or anything else, guys, and I mean, I'm sure if you're watching our automotive channel, you already know this, but you want to go in a star pattern. And apparently, I learned something new today. A Torx head will work in an Allen head, which I was unaware of. But this is working totally fine. It's not even getting jammed, nothing. And I am going to go all the way around with a ratchet now, so I can tell they're the same and they're tight. And we'll be back with you when we're squeezing fluid in it. Thanks for watching, guys. Alright, gang, I would like to correct my last statement. Don't try using a Torx head. If you're being gentle with it, sure. But I realized as soon as I put it on the ratchet and could feel it with my hand, although it was crazy how good it fit, that nope, it is no good. And when you're tightening a bolt like this, you'll see I don't have a torque wrench. I've done enough diff covers, and really, if you're messing with your differential, you need a torque wrench to tell how tight the bolt should be. Leave it to somebody that knows what they're doing. Because with a 3/8 ratchet, these should be snug and then about 1/4 to 1/2 a turn, and you're good. That's all you need. It's not a load bearing, just like that. Not a load bearing bolt. Like, I don't understand why people over tighten everything. I learned the hard way by over tightening stuff. It's like, you really think that screw's gonna come unloose when it's that snug? If it does, you got bigger problems. And if you maintain your truck and or car, I just heard that one get put down. Where is it, Bubba?
On the bumper.
Oh, it's on the bumper, okay. I think this should be that's a Torx head again. We need Allen heads.
There's no...
Shit. And like I used on the front, we're going to use this bad boy to suck up fresh, clean brake fluid. Or not brake fluid. Do not put brake fluid in your diff. Use gear oil. Look at that fancy diff cover. You gotta love stuff that looks cool and is functional. That's pretty awesome. And it makes the diff look bigger. Man. It is for a stock Jeep. It's got a big rear diff. Although, what I would like to do is when we get the Gladiator, get some Dana 60s either from the Dana Axle program,
Yeah.
or Dynatrack or Pro Rock or whatever, and install just like 1 inch wider Dana 60s in it, right? Because you can get the actual width. Leave a comment. Do you guys think it's worth it in a Gladiator? And I'm not sure if we can get them with a Hemi up here yet. To put, I'm gonna need an extension for the 3/8 ratchet, Bubba, so I can get around the track bar. You think it'd be worth it to put heavy duty diffs like a Dana 60 in it? I'm thinking yes, if you're gonna use it for that kind of thing. Because if I'm gonna put Dana 60s in a Gladiator, that sucker's getting 40-inch tires. But then it's only good for heavy rock crawling. I don't know. How do you talk yourself out of a Dana 60? They're so awesome. I do love the fill plug here, gang. If I can get the end in. There it is. I don't know. I'm sure Banks or somebody makes a diff cover that also has a fill like this and a level check. I think Banks might even have like a viewing window. I'm not sure. But when we were looking at diff covers at West Shore Spring, guys, if you're on the island or you're okay with ordering stuff, get a hold of West Shore Spring and 4x4. I believe it's on Bobo's hoodie.
Yeah,
Take a look at Bobo's hoodie there. So I know this thing takes at least 3. So Bobo, maybe if you could start filling this up. Well, you guys don't want to watch me fill gear oil into the back of our rear diff. So, thank you very much for watching. Guys, check out all the links in the description, please. Yeah, we're still doing automotive content, as you can see. But we're also chronicling building up the Jeep to go search for missing people and just help others. Let's all be better to each other, gang. Hello, everyone. I am under Rooster the Rubicon due to the fact that this little front diff cover is not what I would call heavy duty. And it would appear somebody's been in here at some time, because these 10 mil bolts are far too covered in goop. Somehow I doubt that the guys on the Jeep line tightened them this amount. Now you may say, well, you're using a 1/4 drive ratchet. Why are you using a 1/4 drive ratchet? Why? Because the bolts are teeny. They are not big. So if I can get it with a 1/4 drive, why would I use anything bigger? Far too often I see people over tighten stuff or snap the head off of a small bolt because they've got a great big huge, well not huge, but too big for the job, 3/8 or 1/2 inch drive or 3/4 inch drive ratchet, when a 1/4 drive will get the job done. That is one of the biggest tips I can give. If you're out there modifying or working on a Jeep, oh, see, that is just insane how tight that is. It appears somebody painted the front of the diff too. Factory diff cover bolts are not that tight. Here's the new one. And we're doing this, one, because hopefully one day this will have air lockers in it. Two, this cover is going to take a lot of the abuse as we drive through the woods. Even though the steering arm and stuff's in front of it, lots of stuff comes up here. And we're also going to get the skid plate, because one of the bad designs, and if I can get Bobo to pass me the camera, there's lots of awesome stuff about the Jeep. But if you look right there, see that rad hose? Now imagine a stick goes like that, hits there and comes up and rips that rad hose. Trying to fix that in the middle of nowhere, while doable, it's not fun. So, because we want to use this Jeep to rescue people and search for many lost souls, it needs to be tough. And we need to be prepared ahead of time. Which is why, and you have to excuse my hesitation here as I'm looking around underneath the Jeep, I get distracted by mechanical things. And I can tell this thing's been used car lot painted, because if you look at this, you can see that's black spray paint to make it look even fancier. Be careful at a car lot looking for stuff. Here you go, Bobo. Oh, Blake's gonna have a play with Uncle Bobo. We'll be back when I get the diff cover off.
Hey. Say hi. Say hi. Oh, not to me, to the camera. You big meat. Who's that?
Now it's gear oil time. I forced Bobo to pick up the camera.
I don't know what you're talking about. I always had the camera in my hand. Just
No.
wasn't recording.
Takes too much effort. And in your back pocket as you're doing something else isn't in your hand. Man, this is weird. I'm not used to gear oil coming in jugs like this. I'm gonna spill this on myself. Can see it coming. Yeah, you hang on to that, yeah.
Bud's right in the mouth. I'm
Look
trying
up, Blake,
to
come here.
film here, buds. Big meat.
And I can't pet you properly because I got gear oil on my hand. What are you doing? What? He says, Dad, Uncle Luke, I want to hang out. Let me grab another rag here. Okay, how much did that take? Look on the side. I think it's about 3/4 of it, half of it.
Half.
Okay. It takes 2.7, it said. So now I gotta fish this thing into the top of the diff cover without getting myself covered in gear oil. Here, you hang on to this just for a minute while I get situated. You know what? Could you go get me another rag in our crap hole cubby garage? Guys, please check out the videos and the thanks tab and all that other influencer, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram stuff. We want to keep doing this and helping people. Show them our garage. We need help. I mean, if girls can ask for help for new bras, yeah, we want a new garage.
You want a towel now, or you want to keep on talking?
No, I want a towel or a rag. See you soon, gang. How's it going, gang? Now, you know I'm a Dodge guy, okay? You've seen the Dodge trucks. You've seen the first gen. You've seen my fourth gen. You saw Uncle Bobo's half ton before we got rid of it. But I'm not against picking up a bow tie, especially a bow tie that's this big and it's attached to this bad boy. Now, I don't know what's in this thing for an engine yet, but when it's got a Holmes 440 on the back and a Stinger, imagine having the use of this bad boy to go pick up barn finds and other equipment, etc. Looks like it's got a straight 5-seater, some high-end 80s audio. I bet you everything still works too with a little bit of love. I know this thing put in a lot of miles on this highway here. Grease and sand the chains down. May need a set of boots. See, now some guys, they get excited about Hemis. So do I. This and this mint condition tin top Suzuki sitting behind it. Now that is not for sale. That was strictly expressed when I discussed old Hooker here. And as you can see, that's just not me making it up. Not just me. Hooker. That would have to stay. I even think it's got old school heated mirrors. I don't know what's in it for an engine. Probably a gas pot. Yep. Looks like a 350. But look, it's already got the lid flipped. I mean, we're good to go. The lid's already flipped. It's got manual brakes unless they're hydro boost. Somehow, it doesn't look like it. Manual brakes, small block Chevy. Oh, bud, this thing would get her done. Probably only at about 45, 50 mile an hour. But
as far as it goes,
I need to get past the first clasp. There we go. It's not locked, but I had to get past the first one that they had it done at. Oh yeah. Yep, that looks like it may have had an impact at one time too. Stay tuned. We're gonna see if we can get this bad boy running, and then maybe, just maybe, put her back on the road. Guys, you're not gonna wanna miss the videos coming up. Thank you all for your support. Both myself and Uncle Bobo. We love you, gang.